Yeah, so I had symptoms looking back, but I didn't know they were symptoms. I had gone back and forth to the doctors to see what was going on, because I kind of knew something was wrong, but I didn't think it was anything so severe. I think also because I was so young, having experienced like all these symptoms, I didn't get taken seriously, I want to say. So my symptoms were extremely heavy, painful periods, to the point where like I'd have to go to hospital because the pain was just so unbearable. And when I say heavy periods, I mean like I would go through like thick pads. I'd probably go through 4 an hour. And obviously I had been to the doctors, they just ignored me, said that I was fine, that it was normal to have heavy periods, etc. Other symptoms were painful intercourse, bleeding after intercourse, like spotting in between periods. And I came to find out about it because 6 months before my 25th birthday, I received a letter in the post to say that I could arrange my smear test. So I booked it, even though I knew I wasn't actually 25, because I was, I'd had symptoms. I just thought, well, I'll go get it checked. Then I went to my smear test, and the nurse did warn me that I potentially wouldn't hear anything back from my results because I was so young. They may just look at the date of birth and think, well, she's not 25, we don't have to do it yet. Anyway, upon having my smear test, I could tell that there was something wrong, judging by the nurse's reaction. Now, she remained very professional throughout the whole thing. However, she did say to me that she could see a mass with her naked eye on my cervix. Again, I didn't worry too much because I was like, it could be anything. I didn't want to deep it too much because that's not healthy for anybody. And then she told me that she was going to refer me to the hospital to have a colposcopy, which is a tiny camera that goes inside the vagina, and it basically helps the gynecology team look at the ins and outs of what's going on inside. So I managed to get in the day after for an emergency appointment for a colposcopy. They then took a biopsy that day because I think the man who was doing it knew that there was something wrong. And then he took me into the room after and basically said he can't tell me what it is, however it doesn't look good. So fast forward to I think it was 3 days later, I got a call from the hospital to say that I had to go in to speak to the doctor. So obviously I walked there myself because I was like, my house is only around the corner from it, and I was like, I don't need to go with anybody because I don't think it's going to be, terribly bad. It'll be something that I can deal with on my own quite easily. However, when I walked into the room and saw the nurse in her pinstripe uniform holding a Teenage Cancer Trust leaflet, I instantly kind of knew. And yeah, when the gynecologist told me that I had cancer, he also began to tear up because I was so young. And I guess, I couldn't really take it in when he was saying it. And bless his heart, he was so lovely about it. And my cancer nurse, she was absolutely fantastic throughout it all. But the main thing for me, and still to this day I don't really understand it, was I was like, okay, yeah, cool, I've got cancer. Obviously I was upset over it, but I remember walking home thinking, how am I going to tell my parents that their little girl has cancer? So yeah, that is a bit of backstory to how I found out. Hopefully that will answer your question, if that was helpful.